So ultimately, it's all bull.
nonsense. It's all not. Yeah, as you said, they're lying to you.
How are they getting away with this?
Yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh. This is the In Your Corner podcast from CBS News Philadelphia, where we are here to help you take control, whether it's better managing your money, spotting scams, or just understanding your rights as a consumer so you can protect yourself. What if I told you that most sales are not great deals? And sometimes maybe they're not actually even a sale at all. Well, right now, Amazon is actually facing a lawsuit that alleges the shopping giant site is filled with these fake sales. The filing says Amazon used fictional list prices to calculate recent Prime Day percentage discounts, making deals appear better than they actually were. One example, a pair of headphones was advertised as being on sale for 44% off the list price of $179.95. But the lawsuit claims that the item's list price had always been in the range of $130 to $160, and the advertised 44% discount was misleading. And we came across a similar example on a recent In Your Corner report where we were talking about sussing out real deals. For Samantha Gordon, tracking down the deal
I've been doing this for 8 years.
is a full-time job.
I track prices on everything that we test in our labs.
Literally, it's her job title with Consumer Reports. So we asked her for some of the tricks of the trade. She showed me how Keepa works, shopping for this Apple iPad listed on sale for $299, a $50 discount. But when we looked at its price history,
It looks like overall, this has been $299 since May.
it wasn't necessarily a deal, or at least one you'd need to act on right away. Well, apparently, according to our guest here this week, most retailers are lying to us. Kevin Brasler is the executive editor of the nonprofit Consumers Checkbook. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Thanks for being here on this. So first of all, just for anyone who doesn't know what Consumers Checkbook is, we always love to hype you guys up. Tell us what you guys do.
So we're a nonprofit consumer group. We advocate for consumers. We try to help people avoid scams and save money and avoid trouble. We also, in the Delaware Valley, we have ratings of local businesses. If you're looking for an auto repair shop or a plumber or a store or an insurance company, we have ratings of those companies. And we also we have our own team of researchers that do a lot of undercover price research to help people identify low cost but high quality businesses. And some of what that research team does is what we did for this story was we tracked sale prices at 25 major retailers for 6 months to see, how often do they advertise these discounts? Are they legitimate or not?
So ultimately, you found it's all
nonsense.
bull.
It's all not. As you said, they're lying to you. And now we've found that most major retailers continuously lie to their customers, mislead their customers by using these list or regular prices that are not the prevailing prices for those items.
I feel like there's always sales going on
Yes.
now. Things are always marked down, and it has crossed my mind on several occasions when you see they cross out
Right.
a really high price. Did they just do that? Did they just mark it up
Right.
to that?
Most retailers rarely, if ever, charge that list or regular price. The industry, there's actually a term for those. They're called anchor prices. And the industry created these list regular prices only for the purpose of giving you the
Just-
illusion of offering a low price. They don't exist for any other reason other than to tell you, hey, I'm giving you a great deal because the item is really worth this much, this list or regular price. But no one's really charging those prices, or if they do, it's only for a day or so they can somehow legitimize in their minds that's the real cost of the item. But I often say to people, you didn't save any money. When they said it was 40% off or 60% off, and these stores are constantly running those types of sales, it's not 40% or 60% or $200 off a price that's realistic, because no one is actually charging that $299 for that stand mixer. They're all offering it for $199 instead.
So it's just a ploy to get you in the door, basically, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm thinking of like cable news. If everything's breaking news, nothing's breaking news.
Yeah.
If there's always a sale, nothing is actually truly on
That's-
sale. That's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, what they're doing is they're introducing this potentially time-sensitive deadline, right, for you to buy this thing. And it's especially powerful around the holidays. Like, if I'm going to buy you a gift, well, there's a deadline. It's, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever it is that I need to buy you that gift by. And so, especially during the holidays, they introduce terms like Black Friday or, this week only or this day only. Now, some of those prices, yeah, they may be the lowest prices of the year for that item, but by and large, 95+% of the time, it's the same BS sales they've offered throughout the year. They just, week after week, what we found is these retailers come up with a different excuse, St. Patrick's Day, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Black Friday, whatever, to introduce this powerful tool that they have of telling you, hey, I'm giving you this great deal. You better jump on this now before it goes away. But what you as a shopper need to know is these deals are not going away. There's no pressure. There's no rush to make this purchase.
Well, and we keep falling for it, right? I mean,
Well, yeah, and when we first started tracking these sale prices about 10 years ago.
say this is not a new phenomenon.
Yeah, we do
right?
it every few years. And 10 years ago, what we found, it was mostly, department stores that did this. Macy's and Kohl's, and at the time when Sears was still around. Those were kind of the biggest offenders. What we found now is that of the 25 retailers we checked, all but 3 were guilty of it now, and including Amazon, including online-only retailers, including, Home Depot and Lowe's. And the reason is that they figured out this works. It really gets people off the fence in terms of buying something. I mean, if I said to you, I'm going to give you this thing and it's 60% off, and you only have this week to do it. Yeah, exactly, right? And also you'd say, well, there's no sense in shopping around for a better price because they're practically giving it away. And also there's no sense in shopping around maybe for a better product or to buy something from a different store because, I mean, who's going to beat that deal, right? The other thing it does is, and we've all done this, right? I've done it. You say, well, man, I saved so much today that I can now afford to buy more stuff, right? The problem is you didn't save anything because that list price they crossed out, it's not a prevailing price. It's just a fabrication. It exists only to give you the illusion of having big savings and also to get you to buy the thing now.
I mean, it gets to the heart, like the psyche of a shopper, because who doesn't love? It's not enough just to get something. You got to know that like you scored this deal. You got a great price on it, right?
They want you to feel good about it, right?
Yeah.
And then if you feel good about it and think that they charge low prices or they have good sales, you'll come back. My wife, we were in New York on a family trip, and we kind of agreed, okay, we've spent enough money on stuff, and then I went and did something, and they came out of, it was Kate Spade or something with new purses, and I was like, I thought we were done spending money, and they said, well, there was this big sale, we had to do it, and I was like, don't you know what I do? Don't you know what I do for a living? And so. Part of it is like, I hate to throw cold water on there. They felt great about this purchase, but they didn't save anything. If they went back the next day and the next day, it would be the same, BS, misleading lie that was told to them.
And you sound like my husband hates to hear it, and I tell him every time, it's not a good deal if you weren't planning to buy it anyways.
Exactly, right.
Like, we're going to go out and buy it just because it's on sale? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Or we could save the full amount and not get it. He loves to hear that. I'm glad to know I'm not I'm glad to know I'm not the only one who struggles here at home.
You ruin people's big cocktail party moment of how much I saved on this thing, and you just start shaking your head at them, right?
I'm the actually guy at the party.
Push the glasses up on your nose.
Actually, I mean, you guys. So you went through and tracked over months. You did, what was it, 24 different retailers?
25 different
25.
retailers.
And you name names here.
Oh, yeah.
You've got names and scores.
Yeah. And really, they were all except 3 retailers that we tracked were guilty of this. And the 3 that offer what we'd call legitimate sales, one was Dell. When you go to their website, some stuff's on sale, some stuff isn't. A lot of stuff isn't. The stuff that's on sale, it's on sale for like a week and then it goes away. So it's legitimate. They haven't yet really embraced this fake sale technique. Costco, it very infrequently discounts stuff that it's selling. Often when it does, it's because it's going to discontinue item and wants to get rid of it. And the other company we found that it doesn't offer really sales at all. Apple in its stores and on its website, it rarely, if ever, discounts anything. Sometimes it allows other retailers, like it might allow Target to sell you an iPad with a $50 gift card or to offer a short-term sale.
Sure.
But mostly for Apple's products, it doesn't do this. And there's a reason. Apple has a different motivation for not lying to its customers about its pricing, and that is that it wants to present itself as a high-end product, and therefore it doesn't want anyone discounting its products because it seems it might cheapen the brand, and also doesn't want to have to itself compete with other major retailers on price. It wants you to go to Apple and buy from it. And other manufacturers do this. So a lot of luxury goods, perfumes
Sure.
and watches and stuff. Basically, they say, like, we just don't allow any discounting at any time of the year. But most retailers, for what they're selling, the sales are just continuous.
Boy, yeah. And so, I mean, of some of the biggest offenders, these are all places that we're going to be shopping here for the holidays. Kohl's, Macy's, Target. I mean, and those weren't even, I think, the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
JCPenney's, Wayfair. This one killed me. Wayfair, really? Because I always think I'm getting a deal.
Well, because it says you're getting a deal. No, I mean, that's why it's so powerful,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Well,
the lie.
and then if you put it in the cart and they go, hey, it's still here.
Yeah.
Do you-
Right. And it's powerful to tell you,
Yeah.
oh, you're getting a great deal. And it even, again, my own family members, it's hard to get through to them that it's not a deal because that list price is just this inflated thing that the industry created. The manufacturer either created it or the store created it to make it seem like, oh, we're offering you a great deal. And also, it may be a time-sensitive deal. That's really the powerful part of this. It makes you feel good about the purchase because you think you've got one over on that retailer. Oh, they're practically giving it away.
Mhm.
And then also, it makes you think, oh, well, and I better jump on this now. I better not evaluate other options, shop around, maybe even find a different product to buy.
When it says, only two left, or
Only two left.
you're like,
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
guilty.
Right.
I'm trying.
We do this with hotel rooms and vacation rentals too. You can't. You go to these websites and they say there's only 2 rooms left.
Yeah.
They're only
The entire
90% of Barcelona's booked up, and my wife panics. Right.
I was gonna say. So basically, I mean, as with anything, when we give people tips, it's like stop, think. If it sounds too good to be true, if it feels like you have to make a decision quick, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Always.
The starting point, especially for this, is you're not saving what you think you're saving because they're lying to you about the savings. And then secondly, yes, exactly. Whenever someone's rushing you, whenever they put a time limit on something, whenever somebody says, I can offer you this price, but it's only for this amount of time, it's a huge red flag. First of all, it's not true, right? They can still offer you a lower price later on, probably.
And we aren't totally powerless to this either.
Yeah.
There are tools as well, right, that you can use to track prices. I know a lot of them are specifically for Amazon, but if it's sold on Amazon, it's probably sold somewhere else too, right?
Yeah, there are
Do you
tools.
like those?
There are none of them work perfectly, but
Okay.
I think just doing to start with an internet search for that item. Google is happy to show you competing offers.
That's true.
For just about any product you can buy, as long as it's not Gap only sells Gap stuff, right? Because Google is getting advertising revenue from all these people to show you that stuff, and so usually just doing an internet search will at least show you, okay, this is what other major retailers are selling it for, and then you can determine, well, is this a big savings or not? The other thing is there's a website called camel.com. It's a lot to get out over the air. But what it does is it tracks prices for items sold by Amazon. So you can look at price histories for Amazon sold items. Amazon doesn't always have the best prices, but it at least tells you, okay, this is the lowest price that Amazon sold this item for over the last 6 months to a year. And it gives you an idea as to what probably is the lowest price you can find it for, and maybe at other retailers. But I think the main thing to do is focus not on the supposed savings, but focus on the price you're paying and decide whether that TV you're thinking about buying at that price point is a good value or not. Compare other like items, other competing brands. I'm a massive fan, for obvious reasons, of Consumer Reports. They're a like-minded organization like us. They're a nonprofit consumer group. And they do a lot of testing of products. And they often turn up that, well, this brand of TV is more expensive than that brand, but the less expensive brand performs better. And so it really gives you an idea it helps you kind of narrow down your buying decisions to products that are the best fits for you and the best quality.
So the fact that these retailers all do this to varying degrees, how are they getting away with this?
Yeah.
I mean, are there rules? Are there FTC rules or something?
There is. So the Federal Trade Commission has a clearly worded rule that says if you present a discount to someone, if you present to someone a price and you say it's a special price, it has to be a special price. If you say to someone, this was the regular price and this is the price, this lower price is the one today or this week, then that list price, it has to be the prevailing price at your store, right? And the problem is that no, that's not what's happening. Hardly anybody's selling stuff at these list or regular prices. They're flouting this law. And the big issue is the FTC has not enforced this rule, as far as I can tell, in more than 40 years.
40 years.
And we have not been able to get anybody the FTC on the record as to why that is. They've sort of said, well, we kind of leave this to the states to deal with, but that's ridiculous. This is happening on websites. It is a federal issue. And the FTC could put a stop to this right now by telling these stores, no, you have to follow the law, and this is the law. And the law says if you cross out a price and say that was the regular price, it has to be the prevailing price for the item. It can't be something you charge for that item for 1 day or for 1 hour or even for 1 week out of a month. It has to be the going price for that item.
So if the FTC isn't going to do anything about it, you've got to take it into your own hands and
you just have
what
to know.
Look for.
Yeah, and I think even also importantly here, these list prices. Some retailers are somewhat transparent and telling their customers, well, this is how we came up with it. You have to dig into the terms and conditions usually, but it's there.
No one reads those.
No one reads them. I mean, Amazon, you can hover over a list price and it will tell you this was whatever the highest selling price in the last 90 days or something like that. Best Buy has a similar caveat. Kohl's has an interesting explanation. It says that its list and regular prices are the prices that it may have sold the item for in the past or may sell the item for in the future, or a price one of its competitors may have sold the item for in the past or might in the future. And as I always write, so Kohl's has a time machine now, right? Now they're saying, I mean, there's just no justification for it other than, it's nonsense. We're lying to you. They may as well just say. They may as well say. I mean, all these companies may as well say, like, these aren't real prices that we're saying are list prices. They're not real. And it's difficult. Like, class action attorneys have come out after some of these companies. It's very difficult to build a class. I mean, basically, when you're shopping on these websites, if you dig into the terms and conditions, there's almost always, when you're shopping online, an arbitration clause. You can't sue the company. You can't join a class action suit. If you have a problem, you have to go to arbitration. No one's going to do that over a $20 savings off a sweater. And so class action attorneys, they have to, build a class. And then also they have to prove, well, I bought that item because you told me it was on sale and it was a special price and I wouldn't have otherwise bought it, which is very difficult to prove, right?
Good luck. Yeah, good luck. I know. Which, we mentioned that Amazon lawsuit at the top of the episode here. We'll see how far that even goes.
Well, it'll be interesting.
Do you think that they've got an interesting case there?
I think if the FTC bothered to act, all these companies are going to have a lot of trouble defending this behavior because it does flout a very clear-cut rule on this. Now, the FTC may not have been enforcing that rule for decades, but there is a clear-cut rule. Amazon has a little bit of a different problem in that it offers these prime deal savings, and they really kind of push that these are the lowest prices of the year, and they're often not.
Yeah, and that's specifically where the lawsuit focuses too, is on those where you think this is the rock bottom deal.
Now, I will say, is it true that sometimes the Black Friday deals you see are the lowest prices of the year? Are they screaming deals? Sometimes. Like a lot of stores, they've realized that they can offer some laptop for $200 or give you a $50 gift card with that iPad or some kind of special thing. And the reason they do it is they're called loss leaders. They know they can sprinkle these extra low legitimate savings in, and people will say, oh, so Best Buy or whatever, they're having a great sale. They're offering great Black Friday deals. Well, they are for a select number of items, but for most of the stuff they're selling, no, it's all the same nonsense sales they had before. And one reason they do it is that they collaborate with manufacturers, right? The manufacturer says, okay, now we're going to produce maybe even manufacture a specific model for the purpose of you to go out and say, I'm offering this Chromebook for $150. And unfortunately, it gets treated as a news event these days, right? That, it used to be they'd film, people like standing in line outside stores, and now instead they just say, oh, these are the best Black Friday deals. And the fact is they're few and far between. They just have to have enough to get a bunch of attention and publicity for them. And then people rush in and say all this other stuff that's on sale is a great deal too.
So again, it's a marketing ploy to get you in the door.
Very powerful marketing ploy that
keep falling.
And we all keep falling for it. Yeah.
Even Consumers Checkbook.
Even, I admit, there are times.
But again, not powerless. We've got ways. We've got tools. Yeah. Stop and think.
Shop around. Just shop around. It only takes a minute. And also, I think the main thing is just know. You have to have this mindset of I'm not saving anything,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm still buying something. So you're not saving any money. If you have to buy something,
Don't tell my husband.
look at the cost of the item, not
Yeah.
all this, ridiculous 40% off stuff, because it's not 40% off of anything anybody's paying for.
Gosh, all right.
You know?
We'll take that as you will here for the holidays and beyond. Kevin Brasler, executive editor of Consumers Checkbook. Appreciate your insight always.
Great. No, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. And that'll do it for this episode. As always, our inbox is open. If there's a topic you want to see us talk about or a question you have, in your corner at cbs.com. I'm Josh. Thanks for watching.